My name is Mohammed Naveed Zafar, and we are here for another interview with two amazing guests that I'm lucky to call my friends. We have Mr. Joshua Kuik and Mr. Luke Duffy here. Just to give an insight on what we're going to talk about today, they're both admins of a league called Brawler Bash, which is, again, one of the fastest growing online leagues in the world right now when it comes to esports combat. Coming to introduction of Mr. Joshua Kuik, who is here with us in video. Josh is a streamer. He is also involved in various online esports games, different leagues as well. He is also, again, like I mentioned, a part of online esports fighting community. So he's doing a lot of different things at this point in time, and we're really looking forward to hearing more from him. About Luke Duffy, he is an elite UFC 4 player. He has been running around in different leagues. He's been competing for various titles. He has also been competing in various offline leagues that we're going to talk about in Brawler Bash. And again, he is also an admin of Brawler Bash as well. So I'm really happy to have you both here. Josh, first off with you, sir, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, actually. Today's been a good day. Been doing a lot of NHL esports stuff today, so it's been a busy day. How have you been?
I've been amazing. I think I missed my introduction there. I'm Naveed, also known as Barely Average Gaming. Luke, how are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful, mate. How are you? How are you today?
I've been doing well, and I've been looking forward to this for a while now. I think we've been in contact since the weekend, and it was a little difficult to have this interview scheduled because we're sitting in three different continents. Yet,
Yeah, definitely.
really happy to have you here. All right. So, like I mentioned, you're both involved in Brawler Bash, and you've been very successful with that. You've been doing online competitions. You've been doing offline leagues as well. So, before we jump into that, just give me an idea about the history of Brawler Bash, how you guys joined in, and what are you guys currently involved in. So, Josh, I'm going to start off with you.
So me personally, I wasn't involved with the starter Brawler Bash, so Luke can answer that when I'm done. But I'll explain kind of how I came to be. So originally, I started in Cage Rage. I saw a post from Zach actually, and that's how I got into the leagues. And then I think it was I was talking to Austin Hanley, and he was telling me how they needed help with graphic design and all that. So I figured I would show him a few things, just kind of put my name in the hat. And he pretty much he took me on, and from there I slowly started building up more roles. Like I started helping with matchmaking, etc. And then eventually, once Austin left, he gave Luke control, and then me and Luke have pretty much taken over everything, and I've made it to where it is today.
Really good to see that. Luke, can you just give us a brief about what Brawler Bash is in its current state right now? What are you guys currently running on that?
Yeah, so at the moment we're running offline leagues and live leagues as well. So I've been running the offline ones myself since UFC 3. And we've been doing the live leagues, which used to be hosted by Austin Hanley, who created the league. But since he sort of left, we've been working with Gansha, and he's been hosting our live. So we go live every Sunday, and then we've got sort of a couple of offline events throughout the week as well.
All right. So considering the fact that we have a lot of people in the community and also the guys who are watching this are not familiar with what online and offline leagues are. So Josh, can you just explain briefly what's the distinction between the two and how you go about them?
So for the offline leagues, basically it works kind of week to week or a few day basis. So for example, Luke would make a post and people would sign up. Luke would then he'd put you in different chats, and then you have either from like Friday to Sunday to complete your fights, or like Thursday to Saturday kind of thing. Then for live leagues, me or Luke would make a post, and you'd sign up pretty much the exact same way. But instead this time it happens like right on the time of the day that we put. So if we say it's Sunday, March 10th at 4 p.m. EST, you have to be there like right then and there. But for weeklies, you have a few days to kind of correlate that. So it works better for people that may have like a tough work schedule kind of thing. It works better for them to do weeklies rather than lives. So I think having both of those in one league is a pretty good balance to have.
That actually makes a lot of sense. Luke, coming to you. So, like we mentioned, you've been managing offline leagues more frequently, and you've been more involved in that. So, can you let us know what really goes into running an offline league? Because a lot of people listening to this are streamers and are looking to create leagues themselves. Maybe be it FIFA, be it any other online sport, be it Tekken. They would want to kind of get into this process of online leagues, which I believe is very unique to UFC. So can you just give us a brief of what the process is of running an offline league?
Yeah, so I mean, the first thing you've got to do is get people to sign up. So you got to be promoting it a lot. You know, once people have signed up, you got the matchmaking and the making of the fight chats and making sure everything's actually completed on time. And then you've got to sort of go into rankings as well, which do take up a lot of time. It's just kind of putting it all together really is what makes it happen.
All right, Josh, with you. So obviously, we spoke with Gancho and Mr. Humblethink a few days ago, and they went into great details about the challenges that you face when you're running an online league. So again, there are a few things that you have to keep in mind. There's a lot of coordination related issues, a lot of people who back out. What are the toughest things that you have to deal with? And at the same time, how do you go about solving them?
So for me personally, I think the toughest one I've had to deal with was just, I think it's coordinating the then and there, like getting all the streams right at the moment that we need them. I think kind of when we did Facebook wise, it was really difficult because, excuse me, it was really difficult because we couldn't really set up prior to be getting all the Twitch links in that, just because Facebook is it's not the best platform. So I think how we really mastered that side of things was Discord, because those fight chats that we can add into the Discord stay there permanently, compared to where at Facebook, pretty much can't really keep them permanently because people don't really want to sit in the chat, like 100 chats. So I think the best way we kind of dealt with all these issues with streaming that really, Discord has pretty much been our saving grace. And for now, I think our biggest issue for now is just getting a full staff that can coordinate and pretty much be on the ball for everything. And that's kind of what this 2-week break that we've been on has been mastered for.
Yeah, I completely agree with that, because being a part of one of the online leagues myself, I believe it's really important to have the right skill set and the right combination of people in order to be able to run this successfully. Luke, coming over to you. So Josh mentioned moving over to Discord from Facebook. How do you think that has affected the way you've been able to run the league?
I think it's just made the whole process a lot more kind of streamlined, because Discord is much more created for the purpose that we're using it for. Whereas before we were just sort of trying to make Facebook work for what we needed it, and you do run into problems that way. But yeah, I think we got some advice from Gancho, the owner of Cage Rage, and he said, he suggested that we should move over to Discord because he'd had a lot of success kind of with it, and yeah, it's gone pretty well for us.
That's great to know. Josh, there's this thing that we've all noticed. A lot of live Brawler Bash events are now running on Cage Rage. How did that collaboration come about, and how is that going so far?
So for a while, Gancho was always messaging me and saying, because a lot of people forget, but there was a period where we weren't doing lives at all, and we were just doing weeklies and that. So Gancho just kind of kept bringing up the fact that maybe, we could collaborate with him and have him host us. And it took a bit, but eventually I was kind of like, okay, let's figure this out. Let's talk about this. And, honestly, it has been the best thing for us. It's grown us to levels I didn't think we'd hit so quickly. Like, I thought eventually, if we kept grinding, eventually we'd hit these numbers and levels of success. But the integration of Gancho's help has it's completely changed our platform, and it's been crazy because none of us were prepared for us to just take off. And, I honestly think Gancho has been the real savior for us. And it's been good and it's been a wild ride.
That's great to
Yeah,
know.
I would.
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, I would just echo that. The Gancho's help has been sort of incredible since we started working together, and I don't think we would, be where we are today without him.
No, absolutely. I think Gancho has been very instrumental with this entire community, with Cage and all the things that you're doing. So shout out to Gancho, our first guest on these interviews. Just adding on to the community of UFC 4, because I believe this is one community that has contributed really well to GameKheyl, the mission of which being making gaming mainstream, and UFC community has been exceptionally open to contributing to this. Again, thank you both so much for being a part of this interview. Yeah, like you mentioned, Luke, it's again, we have individuals like Gancho and we have individuals like Humble. We have individuals running leagues across the community like yourself who have really contributed to the growth of this entire UFC 4 community. And speaking of community, I believe this community functions a little differently. A lot of community have teams. What we call our teams are camps. And camps have been instrumental in growth of many players like Luke, like Josh, yourself. We've been camp mates before. We are camp mates now. How do you think that has played in well in terms of growth of the community itself? And where do you think it needs to improve? I'll ask Josh. Josh, I'll ask you first, and then Luke, I'll need your response on this as well.
Sure.
I think what camps really do is they build families in a way. When I first came to the community, I maybe played UFC 10, 12 times. I wasn't huge into the game itself. But Zach kind of added me to Cobra Kai, obviously. That was the original camp. And I think from there, it really felt that I was included. It really made me feel really warm and welcome to the community. And having, the Cobra Kai tag and all that kind of also put my own name out there. It kind of helped me build other relationships. And then even now, like with camps like the Warriors and LS and AK and all that, camps like that they have a different feel to them now. And they really, having them in the community, I think, opens the door for a lot more than what a lot of communities have. Because, like you said, most communities have teams and that, but I just think camps has a different kind of ring and feeling to it.
Yeah, it sounds more personal. It sounds a lot like involving loyalty. It involves a lot of work hours, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, even though it's virtual. But I believe what we've been able to develop in the community of UFC 4, it feels very real. Luke, I would like to hear your perspective on this.
Yeah, I think with camps, the sort of the best thing about it for me has just been being able to get sort of focused help from players that are better than you, because that's something that on other games I've not really experienced. Whereas with UFC, you kind of the players are all around you. You just have to find them, and that's what I found with being in the community. With regards to things that could be better about camps, I think it's just people's competitive spirit gets the better of them sometimes, I think, and things can get, arguments can happen between camps, but we're all playing the game for the same reason, and we just got to kind of get on with it, really.
Josh, recently, a very unfortunate event of Scott Hector's passing. We've all been very deeply affected by it, and you especially being someone very close to him. I believe you've been able to do something exceptionally well, and that is to honor the memory of Scott Hector. Can you tell us a brief about what you've been able to do through the platform Brawler Bash and Cage Rage, and how has it been going since?
Sorry, could you rephrase? Sorry, could you just repeat the question?
This question a bit. I'll re-ask you the question.
Okay.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Again, like we mentioned, as a community, we've enjoyed each other's success, and whenever it comes to or failures or sorrows, so to say, we've also come together to support each other, to help each other out. And I think that's the best part about the community. Josh, speaking of which, we recently suffered the loss of Scott Hector, who was tragically taken away from us. And you, considering you've been someone who's been very close to him recently, even though never met him in person, but been able to form a very brotherly bond with him. You've been able to create something that was very beautiful, I would say. Can you share with us what it was and how the community came together and honor his memory?
Okay, so basically how it all came to be was after Scott's passing, I instantly, I think it was Luke I messaged first. I told him, like, we have to do something. You know, we have to have something to kind of, you know, not just for the community, but also for his family too. Just because he loved the game, he loved the league. So I brought up, you know, let's do a memorial. You know, we'll cancel our event for the next couple of days, and then next week we will come out with a memorial to truly honor him. And I think it was a day or two after I messaged Scott's brother, and I correlated with him on the event, and I kind of bounced ideas off of him. He bounced ideas off of me. And it all pretty much boiled down to a lot of planning, you know, a few calls with Goncho and Luke about getting all the details down. And then the outpouring for the community is really what surprised me the most. I knew this community was really tight knit. I knew, like, we all kind of had this brotherhood, but the way everyone came together and the way everyone kind of connected in Scott's memory and honored him in any way all of us could was really just, there's honestly no words for it. It was breathtaking. It was incredible. And then the memorial itself, just, it went nearly flawlessly. Like, it went as perfect as it could be. And I feel for a lot of people, even his family included, it kind of brought not closure, but definitely a lot of peace to what happened. Made everyone just, it helped us heal, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, it definitely helped us heal.
Again, exceptional work from Brawler Bash. Again, our commiserations to the family of Scott Hector. And again, the UFC community is always there for him for any support whatsoever, personal or in gaming. Speaking of another event that Josh and Luke, you guys were able to completely transform the entire landscape of UFC 4 community with, Brawler Mania. What was the idea and how did that come about?
So yeah, Josh was basically the one that started Brawler Mania, and he was just messaging, you know, prominent people in the community and sort of trying his luck really. And as it turns out, some of them were interested in helping a smaller league grow. So they agreed to it. And, you know, once you got one of them, you know, once you got one person on board, more people started coming over, and it became a giant event. And I think we had nearly 200 viewers at one point, which was, I think it might be the most ever in Cage Rage history. So yeah, it was an amazing event.
So actually about that, I kind of have a funny story. I don't think I've shared this story either, kind of how the idea popped in my head. So it was around the time the Cage Rage Rumble, which, by the way, that was an incredible event, and all props to Goncho and Humble. But I was kind of watching that event. I'm like, you know, you have the Brawler, you have the Cage Rage Rumble, and obviously that's kind of based around the actual Royal Rumble from WWE. So I'm like, okay, what if we do how they do it? You have the Rumble, then you have the big Mania event. So I'm like, what? I was just kind of thinking about it the whole day. I'm like, and then the name Brawler Mania popped ahead. I'm like, okay, you know, if I can make this work, we can run with it. So I kind of messaged Goncho. I'm like, what if we do the winner of the winner of Cage Rage Rumble, since, you know, both leagues are correlated, will fight the Brawler Bash champion in this, you know, big event with all these people. And it kind of started as a pipe dream. You know, there wasn't actually any real, like, foundation to it. And then I started messaging people, and it, the first bite I really got was Prioxis and Bruce Lee Rob. They were the first two that kind of messaged me back, and really showed interest in this. And at that point, it was kind of like, okay, you know, I don't know what I've gotten myself into, but I guess it's time to run with this. So, and then it was just an incredible, like, I think it took us about a month or so to plan the whole event. And then just the way it was executed was just incredible. Like, it started as a dream and it ended just exactly how I wanted it.
Sounds amazing. I believe we've come towards the end of the interview. I just have final questions from both of you. Josh, from you, any advice that you would like to give for anyone who would want to run an online league or an offline league, however would you like to phrase it? What do you think it takes to be successful at that?
I think the first thing you kind of need to do is you need the confidence in yourself. I think that's the first, like, real important step. You know, a lot of people, they want to do something like this. Like me personally, when I first joined the league, I had no confidence. Like, I wanted to be a part of these leagues. I wanted to help out, but I didn't believe in myself, you know, and I think building myself as a person really helped with that. And honestly, it's about talking to the right people. It's about, and this is the biggest thing, and I've slowly learned it, never deny help. If someone's going to offer to help you and, you know, and like it's someone you trust, obviously, you know, it's going to accept help from like anybody, but don't deny the help. If they mean well, take their advice, listen to them. And if they're offering their help, take it, you know, just run with it and big things will come. Not everything can be built on your own. You'll need people, you'll need the partnerships, the relationships, and just take a chance. It doesn't hurt to take a chance.
I think the main thing that it took for me was, with sort of finding the motivation to do it, was just kind of keeping it simple. Because when I originally started with the leagues, it was easy to make things overcomplicated, to try and you know, to try and get people in with these flashy new ideas. But really, to make it work long term, you just need to keep it simple and make sure that you've got the right people helping you.
All right. Solid bit of advice from both you, Josh and Luke. Again, thank you all so much for your support. Josh is a regular streamer. I'll be sharing the links of both Cage Rage and Brawler Bash Discord in the comment section or in the description. And also, you can catch Luke on different online leagues. He is a competitor. Along with that, I believe you can really appreciate the hard work that these guys put in every Sunday on Brawler Bash community. If you're a UFC gamer yourself, you can also join our Discord page or Facebook page. I'll be sharing all of those links in the chat. Again, thank you both of you so much. Any final comments?
Thank you.
Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's
right,
been
lovely.
fun.
Sorry?
I say it's been fun.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you all so much. And also for everyone watching, thank you for all the support. You've been amazing with both our interviews so far, both with King Sunny 27 and with the advent of Cage Rage. This is Naveed Zafar signing off. Thank you all so much for joining in, and hope to see you guys soon. Peace.